Hey guys, welcome to Out With It. And today we're in conversation with the youngest member of parliament, Shambhavi Choudhary. I would describe her simply as a force of nature. While all of us are busy figuring out our lives, she's here not just as the voice of her entire constituency, but also as the face of the youth of India. We're so proud to have her with us today. Here we have Shambhavi Choudhary.
Hi.
So, how are you doing?
Good, good. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. I think it's really nice, refreshing, and truly energetic to connect with young people trying to, do
Yeah,
something different. So,
I'm so
definitely happy
happy.
to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Honestly means a lot.
The
And this
pleasure is mine.
and this is going to be one of our first episodes that we're going to be putting out. So it
Wow,
genuinely
what a
means a
privilege.
lot. Yeah.
Honestly, no, seriously, I think it's really great, and I'm very grateful that you all reached out to me. And I think this is a safe space where we can talk about what young people want, what they're looking for, and can give me also ideas
Hmm.
that I can continue to pursue in the coming years in the parliament. So I think it'll be great.
Thank you so much. So before we start our conversation, I want to just know I spoke to you earlier and you told me you were in parliament today. What
Yes.
happened today? Tell me something.
So today was not a very hectic day.
Hmm.
Yesterday was a hectic day because we were having the discussion on the parliament, and the leader of opposition spoke, and then
Hmm.
finance minister gave her reply. So that was a pretty long and hectic day, but today was slightly better. We start with the question hour.
Hmm.
Usually what happens is that at 11 we start with a question
Hmm.
hour for 1 hour, then we go to the 0 hour for 1 hour, and then we start discussions or debates. This session is called the budget session.
Okay.
So we the budget is introduced,
Hmm.
and then there is a full so we discussed the budget for 20 hours,
Right.
27 hours in the parliament.
Yeah.
It was scheduled to be discussed for 20 hours, but everybody wants to talk on the
Yeah.
budget, so it went on for 27 hours. Then now we are discussing demand for grants. Then we'll discuss the finance bill,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever bill will be introduced, we are supposed to discuss. So this is what usually happens in the
Happens.
parliament.
Okay, that's quite interesting because I feel like you're somebody so young who has taken up such an important position in, I think, the entire India's youth. I feel
Mm.
like it's a very pivotal spot.
It is. It also definitely comes with a very, it comes with a sense of responsibility.
Right.
And I just feel that if more and more young people are there in politics,
Hmm.
there can be new ideas, there'll be new energy. Everybody appreciates having young people because they bring with them new ray of hope. They
Of
have
course.
new ways of functioning, and when we interact with the people who are senior to us,
Hmm.
we discuss new ideas, we tell them how we are operating, we learn from them,
Of
but there
course.
is so much that they can learn from us too.
Hmm.
So I think that is a very nice interaction that happens in the parliament.
Now that you actually mentioned talking with your seniors within the parliament, I wanted to ask, has there been any type of a informal setting where you felt maybe some type of discrimination, maybe because of your age or like the fact that you're so young but you're technically at the same position as somebody who's really seasoned and
Mm,
has been there for a really long time?
Not exactly discrimination, but I got into a banter with somebody from the opposition in my home state.
Hmm.
And very casually, that person said that she's very new right now, she should go and finish her education.
Right.
So they casually just pass remarks about me being young and me not having completed my education. But I have completed my education. I was
Yeah.
working with a school also. I was working there as a director, and now I am in politics. So, they just, when they have nothing to say about you, then they start passing remarks. When they have nothing
100%.
substantial to talk about, that's when they
Yeah.
start passing remarks. But it definitely does not happen from your well wishers, and it does not
Yeah.
happen when somebody, usually on an everyday basis, nobody ever talks to you like that or passes
Hmm.
comments. They're very supportive. They will always, in fact, I learned so much from my seniors,
Hmm.
and people who are really experienced and who are very senior in politics, be it from the government or the opposition, they would always come up and they will always guide me that okay,
Hmm.
now this time, because there are procedures, and there's a lot of administrative work that happens.
Yeah.
For everything you need to file papers, file documents. So every time I'm in a spot where I don't understand, I always go up to a senior and ask them what is supposed to be done. Then they will very nicely tell you that, okay, now you do this, now this is what is supposed to happen. Whenever I'm confused, I will go up to them. But definitely in politics, people have their own space, and they
Right.
operate in their own constituencies, and
Hmm.
they have their own sphere. There is competition. Healthy competition is everywhere, and I think
Agreed.
there is nothing wrong in having healthy competition. There are people my age or at the same generation as me,
Yeah.
maybe 5 years older to me or 6 years older to me, but the same generation, and they're also there in the parliament. So
Yeah.
there is healthy competition. We will always compete about who wants to speak more, who should have more time. We'll
Yeah.
always casually joke about it, but we never take that to our hearts कि अब यार ये तो ज़्यादा बोल दिया हमसे, अब क्या होगा? That's
Of
I think
course.
I think everything should be taken in a very positive manner, and
Yeah.
you should have the spirit of competition, but not you should not be negative. You should always be
Yeah.
positive about things, because you have a lot of time, and I feel I have a lot of time to work on myself, to work on the constituency. This is a learning process. Every day we are learning. So if you take this as a journey where you are learning every day, where there's something new that is happening every day, where there's something that you can take away from for yourself, then you will not see this as a competition or as something that is मतलब ये होना ही चाहिए, नहीं तो पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा. You won't see it like that.
Shifting that to a little bit more about you personally, how has your day shifted from before you were a politician, like maybe from your college to now? Because I'm sure you're really busy and so many things have changed for you.
So, the most important thing that has changed is that I've lost on a lot of time for myself.
Hmm.
And before and it's not like I didn't know. This is a very conscious choice that I made, that okay, I want to be in politics, and once you are in politics, you have to be there for your people at all costs. Like,
Yeah.
there is no midnight, there is no morning, there's no afternoon. If somebody calls, you have to respond. If somebody needs help, you have to be there for them, because they chose you to be their representative.
Representative.
And my dad always says that when you go to a constituency, you go there as a normal person, but when you come back, it's people's love, support, and admiration for you that you become a member of parliament or a member of the legislative assembly. So that is your, like in Hindi you would say, that is my dharma, that is my
Haan.
karma, that I have to do. I can't move away from doing that. So the thing that has drastically changed is that whatever little time, like when you're in college, you're always, life is easy, life is simple. You just have to go to college, study, interact with friends, you can chill with them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
But now you don't have that much time. I don't have time I miss doing little things like walking my dog,
Of
or
course.
spending time with my family. Now that I'm a member of parliament, there are so many days that I have to spend in Delhi away from family.
Of course.
And work on the constituency. I don't get that much time with my parents or my siblings. Like, they are here right now, and we used to do so many things when they used to come here for summer break, but this time we haven't done a lot of things. But they went with me to Samastipur, so I'm very
Okay.
grateful for that. They were there for the campaign and the election results. So definitely that. And I find drawing a line between what is personal and what is public the most difficult thing to do, because now we are public figures. Everybody wants to know what we are doing, everybody wants to know uh, you know how we feel, how we're going, what is the next move, how did we land up here. And every day, every movement is being captured somewhere.
Yeah.
When we go out in the public domain also, you don't know who can record, who will take pictures, what will go online. So these are some of the things you have to be very vigilant about. And that takes away, the sense of you just being natural.
Natural, and also I think
Sometimes-
some level of personal space
Correct.
gets very
There is no personal
invaded.
space.
Yeah, I mean,
There
there
is no
isn't
personal space.
after a point.
Not at
Yeah.
all. Like, I know people from my constituency call me at 11 o'clock in the night also.
Oh God. But
So
more than calling, it's also just simple things like just going to a restaurant and not being
see, I think
recognized.
it's just it's also mental engagement. So for example, something bad has happened there,
Right.
and somebody is calling you at 11 and telling you कि ये हो गया या ये हो गया. Like I had a
Hmm.
call a few days back when I was sitting somewhere and somebody called me कि constituency में a girl was sexually molested. So now my entire focus went to the girl.
That, of course, yeah.
So it's not just your time that is going, but it's also you're mentally
Hmm.
constantly occupied.
Yeah.
And people around me would say ki matlab, then everybody gets involved, then everybody
Hmm.
starts feeling bad. Okay, now what is happening, then every 10 minutes you're thinking what is happening. So these are some of the things that that's the every
It's
situation
a
has a pro
and a
pro and cons
con,
of both.
yeah.
So I think
I think
this
it's
is
just like an extended house, technically, like you
extended
constantly.
family.
Extended family, a
Definitely
massive
extended
extended
family.
family.
Huge big family. It's a big family, and sometimes when things go wrong you have to be there for
Yeah,
them.
you
You
have
can't
to.
say anything. So
But actually, I was looking at some of your interviews earlier, and they kept having the slogan "Shambhavi hai to sambhav hai." Read that everywhere, and it's so sweet, I believe. But what do you think personally your constituency members expect out of you when they hear that? Like, what do they feel when they
feel
hear that?
so Shambhavi hai to sambhav hai came from Modi hai to mumkin hai.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
people resonated with Modi hai to mumkin hai. So, I had to
Hmm.
give them a phrase that could relate
To
me to
that.
Modi ji. I
Huh.
said Shambhavi hai to Sambhav hai.
Huh.
And my name is also difficult. Like in
Yeah.
Bihar, people usually have very simple names.
Hmm.
And Shambhavi, to pronounce that for people who are still in rural areas, I
True.
thought that was a little difficult. So I had to put that in their mind that the name is Shambhavi. So
Hmm.
we correlated it to Sambhav. So
Hmm.
Shambhavi hai to Sambhav, and then everybody started saying, it got very popular.
It's a very easy on the tongue
Correct,
thing,
and still
yeah.
everybody keeps, they use the hashtag whenever they would comment. They will comment on
Huh.
my Instagram post or Facebook post. They'll put hashtag Shambhavi hai to Sambhav hai. So I think the people of my constituency, what they want from me is the most important thing is presence,
Hmm.
because I think the past parliamentarians that represented my constituency did not give enough time to the people, and they felt cheated. So when I went on the ground, I think that was the strongest emotion that I felt. That the people of the constituency were feeling cheated, that we don't get to meet our parliamentarian, we don't get to share our sorrows and griefs
Right.
or happiness also.
Hmm.
We can't talk
There's
to.
no connect,
Correct. There's no
basically.
connect. We can't talk to him. We can't meet him. He's always lost. He's always in Delhi. So
Hmm.
these were the things that I think this is something that was very evident. Other than that, I think they just want me to work honestly.
Hmm.
Like whatever I am supposed to do, I should be doing that.
Yeah.
And that you like I've given, like the other interviews that I've talked about my constituency, where I've talked about my constituency, I've told them that I want to work on the infrastructure, I want to work
Hmm.
on the education, I want to work in the health sector, I want to work for women, and I also want to work for the people who are still marginalized and they have
Hmm.
not been included in the mainstream society. I went to a place in my constituency. It's Kusheshwar Sthan,
Hmm.
and my sister was with me,
Hmm.
the youngest sister, and
Right.
we were campaigning. And somebody, he must be my age only, or
Okay.
maybe younger than me. He
Hmm.
came up to me, and it's a flood prone area. So that part of my constituency is flood prone.
Hmm.
He came up to me and he told me that, and there were no roads, no connectivity at all. We had to, like, it was situated in the river basin,
Okay.
and it was full off-roading
Right.
when we went to the constituency, when we went to that village.
Hmm.
And that guy came up to me and he told me that we really need road connectivity here.
Hmm.
So I said, yeah, I'll do that. And then he just looked at me and he said that, during monsoons we have to we have to stop going to our college, we have to pause our education because we can't make it to the
Make it to
college.
college.
And it just struck me that it's not about health, it's not about education, it's about connectivity. You have schools, you have hospitals, but people are not being able to reach there. And it's basic. That's the most basic thing you can give them.
Exactly.
So I always focus, I think. And I come from a family where my grandfather used to swim to his school because there were not enough resources.
Of course,
And
back in the day.
and he didn't come from a very influential, affluent family. So he definitely struggled to study, but because he studied, he uplifted the entire generations to come.
Yeah.
So I always think that no, education is the most important, and I have to pursue that. I have to encourage girls to take up higher education. Usually they do get educated till 12th and then they drop out. I don't know why.
But that's also very like you're saying, it's very similar to Rajasthan also. Like when we talk about women education, most women would study till 11th, and even then they would have this within them that, oh, we're lucky enough to be able to do it till 11th. The mindset is not there where their families,
They don't want to pursue higher education.
they don't, because
I think it's there in Bihar.
Yeah.
Women want to get educated, but there are so many societal conditions that eventually they give up.
they do. Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
And like I said, that to be here today, although I come from a very privileged background, and I'm not saying that my struggles are anyway similar to a average woman's struggle, but I think all women in our society are struggling at some point to mark their presence, or to felt heard,
Or to even fill up shoes, I feel
correct.
like. Yeah.
So I always say that to be here, I didn't just contest elections. I fought patriarchy. I fought stereotypes. I had to tell the world that no, I can do this. And I will be, I think I had to give more justifications than any man would,
Have
be
to.
asked to.
Right.
So definitely that part, but women in our society are still struggling, and although we've come a long way, but we still have to go a long way.
Yeah, no, it is a long journey ahead for sure.
Correct.
But I think also this reality of like the rural India, where such basic things like connectivity, like water, electricity, all of this, I think people gloss over it when they think about these situations, especially coming from a privileged background or a very metropolitan city. Most people our age wouldn't even think about this as a major problem when they look at these type of areas. They're just like, okay, yeah, they don't have electricity, but they don't see the consequences. And the fact that you're working so closely with them, it sheds a lot of light on how we could also go and give back to certain societies.
Correct. I think you just so when I went back to my constituency, even I didn't know that
Yeah.
such basic things would be a problem. It's only when I started living with them, when I started interacting with them, I realized that okay, they don't even have the basics right now. The government, they launch schemes, beti bachao, beti padhao, we do everything in our capacity, sara
Yeah.
laws aa jata hai, policies ban jati hai. But if nobody is working hard to implement them on the ground level, तो फिर क्या फायदा?
There's no point. Yeah.
इतने सारे policies का. And that's what I keep saying, that my most important job is to take these policies and go to my constituency and start implementing them. Like abhi Ayush, I'll give you an example. Like last week I went back to my constituency, and so the government makes Ayushman card.
Okay.
Ayushman card is a health insurance that's given to poor and elderly people. And it covers medical costs up to 5 lakhs. So that's a lot of amount.
Yeah.
And the Ayushman card nodal officer, she came, she met me, and she told me that I haven't reached only 25% people have registered till now.
They don't even know about it.
They don't even know about it. So then
God.
I went to so I was addressing
Yeah.
a public gathering that day. So I told the women, there were a lot of women over there, and I told them that you all have to go and get your Ayushman. This is the nodal officer. She will make it for you. You need your ration card. Do you have a ration card? Do you have an Aadhaar card? ये सारा लेके दीदी के पास जाओ. ये आपको बना के देगी. उससे क्या होगा? So then they realize कि okay, ऐसे Ayushman. Otherwise they will think कि अच्छा Ayushman card हमको तो नहीं मिला. But they don't know how to get it.
Yeah.
They don't know who to approach.
Yeah.
राशन कार्ड नहीं मिला, पर उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि वो बनाना कैसे. They know राशन कार्ड है, but they don't know कैसे बनाना है. The problem is implementation. Nobody is talking to them about all of this. There are so many policies for farmers, but the farmers in my constituency don't even know कि ये सारे policies उनके लिए हैं.
Yeah.
They just know कि सरकार ने बोला था इतना पैसा मिलेगा, but अभी तक मिला नहीं. तो the problem is not कि
there aren't laws. Yeah.
There is no awareness.
Exactly.
So I think it's a collective effort, and when the government, the administration, and the society, all three of them, when they come together, then there can be a greater impact of whatever we are doing.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important for it to work together.
Yes, that's true.
But I also read, I think you're doing PhD right now,
Yes.
right? How is that with handling your constituency? I mean, I'm in college right now, and even podcasting seems like, oh, should I have to do this with college? But this is a very big responsibility.
So I'm doing my PhD in the role of women in active electoral politics.
Okay.
So this is where I'm working. This is my field, but this is also my area of study. So I'm continuously seeing what's happening, experiencing what's happening, interacting with other female parliamentarians, other female politicians, and asking them about what's going on, how do you feel, you know, all of that.
Right.
So definitely that research and story part is
getting
on.
covered.
That's getting covered. Right now our classes haven't started yet, but when the classes do, then we'll see how to go about it.
Right. You're studying in Delhi itself?
No, it's in Bihar.
Oh, it's in Bihar.
And it's only I think it takes me 1.5 hours to reach my place of study, like the university that I'm pursuing my PhD in. So I think I'll be able to do it. It won't be difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We have, so when we are in Delhi, only then it's when the parliament session is going on, only then we have a constraint of time, because you have to sit in the parliament for a long time, and you have to listen to the debates, and you have to talk and all of that. We are all, you know, we put in so much hard work to be here.
Of course.
And it's our priority. So only that phase is difficult, but we only have sessions thrice a year.
Right, yeah.
So I think I'll be able to manage it.
Yeah. And how does it feel like to be going back to college, but also with a different persona? Like, your classes haven't started, so I'm sure you haven't experienced it yet.
No, I haven't gone back
it's
to
gonna
the
be different.
university after winning, but let's see when that happens.
I think it's going to be a different change.
See, I think when I go to the university, I'll be a student only.
Yeah.
मतलब ये करना तो उतना ही मेहनत पड़ेगा. मतलब it's not like people will tell me कि हाँ ठीक है आप चले जाओ. Maybe classes I can ask for some
extension.
Not extension, but like maybe they can excuse me from regular classes.
Of course, yeah.
But that's all I want. I mean, I don't. I am ready for all the hard work that is required, all the studying I can do, everything. It's just because I'm a little constrained on time. So maybe I'll just ask कि regular classes say I should be excused, but I don't know. It's up to my professor.
So now I want to do this little section with you. It's called Out With It in 5 seconds. So kind of like rapid fire. Okay. Just very simple questions. Tell me whatever comes to your mind.
All right.
Okay. So the first one is, if you were not a politician, what would you be?
I think somebody who rescues animals.
Okay.
I would have enjoyed doing that a lot, but I was already working in the education sector, so I would have continued doing that. But I love animals. I love spending time with them. So I always think that I should have tried being a vet, or I should have opened an animal care center, rescued animals. But yeah, if not a politician, then I would have definitely tried to work for animals.
Okay. Do you have any pets?
I have a lot of pets. I have 2 rescued stray dogs. I have 4 other adopted dogs. So 2 of them are adopted, but they are breed dogs. They're not stray dogs. So they were basically abandoned, and 2 that were bought many years ago. So I have total 6 dogs.
Wow.
And I have birds, I have cows, I have mostly, but all these are pets that I have bought, or my parents have bought. But very recently, I think from the last 3 years, I haven't bought any pet. I have only rescued them. And I think I will continue doing that, like no buying breed dogs now.
I agree. Actually, very similar. I have 5 dogs at home.
Wow.
And 2 cows at home. And
we
birds.
should do a separate podcast on this now.
We should.
This is Janhit mein Jari. We should do a separate podcast
We
on
should
this.
about pets.
About pets, about rescuing dogs and
Yeah.
rescuing animals and taking care of
Totally.
them instead of buying them. So I travel with my dogs. Whenever I
do?
come to Delhi, I bring 2 of them with me.
You drive down with them.
No, train.
Train,
I take
okay.
the train. So I
Okay.
booked the AC first.
Right.
The first class. I booked the coupe.
Huh.
So I have a help, Pooja.
Huh.
And she's the funniest. She's my shadow. I can't live without Pooja. So Pooja travels with me with my 2 dogs, and we are a cute little family that travels together everywhere.
sweet.
So when I come to Delhi, I bring them with me. When I go back, I take them back.
Take
with
them
me.
back with you.
Yes.
The funny thing is, 2 of my dogs, I got them during COVID. So they didn't see anybody outside my family. So now they've had this fear of meeting anyone outside.
New people. Yeah, social anxiety. They've
They have.
developed social anxiety.
They've developed social anxiety. So they're homebodies. They just don't leave the house. They
Wow.
wouldn't even go to the street. They're that
Wow.
like socially anxious dogs.
I think it's great because I have dogs that always want to be outside.
Right.
So I have one very lazy beagle who's
Huh.
like now he's 7. So he does not want to move, but both my indie dogs, they are super active, they're super alert. उनको रात में 2 बजे भी घूमना है. मतलब आवाज हो गया तो बस खड़े हो जाएंगे कि अब बाहर लेके चलो,
हाँ.
let's see क्या हो रहा है. So they are like that. But I think it's a total,
How
it's a
cute.
pleasure to have pets. I
Yeah.
think it's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
You are
It's-
lucky if you have pets.
It's very peaceful to be
Yeah.
surrounded by so many creatures, honestly.
Correct.
Yeah. So the second question is, if you were the PM of India for one day, what's the first action you would take?
I would definitely do something for women
Hmm.
because I feel that they should be given their due representation. They should be given what they've been denied for many years. But if like you said, one thing that I would do, it
Hmm.
will definitely be working on the wage gap
Okay.
and how women are paid differently for the same job they do. That's the
Yeah.
first thing that I would do because I think that's the first step of equality.
I completely agree.
So that is in my mind. I've talked about it a lot of times, and because I'm a sociology student, I've also
Hmm.
studied how women work 2 shifts a day.
Yeah.
They work at home,
And-
they work in their workplace, and when they come back home, they still have to work.
They still have to work. I
And
agree.
this is nobody talks about it, but these are some of the areas that definitely health, education, everything is there.
Hmm.
But you asked me one thing, and that's the first.
That's
thing
the
that I
first
would
thing. But also, I feel like with women working hours, I read this research a couple years ago, which was about how the entire corporate structure is based on men. Like the
Yeah.
9 to 5 doesn't work with a woman's
It does
physiological cycle, nothing. So the whole construct is, I think, has to change at some point.
It has to, and
Yeah.
it's just that they are not. Many people do not resonate with it because they're not in the same shoes, like you said,
Yeah.
like we discussed.
Exactly.
Like I can't go up to somebody and tell them about, what I'm going through because so I can't explain it to them. All these things are happening with me because I'm a woman.
Exactly, you can't.
They won't understand. They'll be like, अरे तुम तो यार MP हो, सब तो हो ही गए तुम्हारे साथ, तो अब मतलब क्या, you're not a victim of patriarchy and all of
Exactly.
that. But it's very difficult to make people understand that patriarchy exists
On
in
all
other
levels.
forms also.
Yeah.
Very casual remarks and comments
Exactly.
and things like that. But ठीक है.
It is what it is.
We will move forward with this धीरे, baby steps.
I know. It'll happen.
It will improve. We've come a long way.
We have. We've come a very long way.
Yes.
Like drawing no comparisons between other countries. At least India is forward enough to have a woman prime minister, woman-led,
President.
woman-led teams,
Yes.
women-led
I
parliament.
think a
So
lot
many
of things are changing, but a lot of things still need to be
They have to.
considered.
Yeah, for sure.
And supportive parents, supportive in-laws,
Hmm.
supportive husband, all of this is very important.
Very
Like a
important.
very supportive, caring, nurturing atmosphere.
Hmm.
A lot of women are not lucky to have that. Like they
That's
continue
true.
to work, but they're not in a very safe space. They're not in a nurturing. I am lucky that way.
Hmm.
I'm touchwood. I'm very lucky. पे जल्दी से wood touch कर लो. I am very, very lucky that way that I have very, very, very supportive parents.
Yeah.
Very supportive in-laws and a super caring, super supportive, super nurturing husband who is I think he's the wind beneath my wings because
Right.
he's never put me on the back foot. He's always like, okay, you go first, I'll wait. So I think that is important, but not all women are lucky. So
Not all women. And I think having that environment also, I think, depends on how you're brought up
correct.
sometimes.
That's
Because you
true.
seek that out in your partner also.
That's true.
So it completely boils down to your family environment first.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of people think that I was discussing this with somebody the other day also. I was telling them that, a lot of people think that you need to inspire women for, you need to inspire them to do something. You don't need to inspire the women, you need to inspire the men.
Men.
ठीक है, women तो inspired है. They are empowered. They want to work. They want to do this. You need to
Yeah.
inspire the men.
Exactly.
It's okay. It's fine. People need to learn from my husband. They don't need to learn from me.
Yeah.
Men need to learn from my husband. Men need to learn from my father.
Of course.
So, ये वाला चीज़
And
है.
also in the face of, yeah, I'm so progressive, blah, 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 I'm allowing my daughter to study or this or that, there's still somewhere like people need to change their mindset.
Correct,
They would still
correct.
not on the face
Allowing
be
is a
big
very,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Problematic term. You are not allowing anybody to do
sure.
anything.
Do anything. Yeah. Anyway, coming to the third question. What's your comfort food when you go back to Bihar, like home?
Dal, chawal and bhujia.
Any specific Bihari?
It's ghar ka dal, chawal
हाँ.
and bhujia, and dal also masoor ka dal.
Okay.
So there is a masoor ka dal which has garlic ka tadka in it. And so that is my comfort food. I love having masoor ka dal, so that's there. And aloo ka bhujia, वो भी लहसुन वाला जो घर में एक typical बिहारी घर में नहीं
हाँ,
बनता. That I think when I go back from any holiday, when I go back home also, I
Right.
want घर का दाल चावल and bhujia. And कोई भी अगर और कुछ भी हो तो भी चलेगा. But it's my, and I love खिचड़ी also.
You do?
Yeah, I love खिचड़ी. जो बिहारी स्टाइल में खिचड़ी, चोखा, टमाटर का चटनी,
हाँ.
बैंगन का भरता बनता है. I love
हाँ.
that.
I love chokha also.
बट खिचड़ी में पता नहीं क्या है, लोग कहते संडे को नहीं खाते, थर्सडे को नहीं खाते, तो मेरे को
Is that
पता
a
नहीं
thing?
क्या है. आई डोंट नो, बहुत सारा चीज होता है.
Okay.
सो नाउ आई जस्ट वेट फॉर सैटरडे. सो there's it's a thing
Okay.
कि इन बिहारी हाउसहोल्ड सैटरडे के दिन खिचड़ी बनता है.
Okay.
सो आई वेट फॉर सैटरडेज कि अब सैटरडे आएगा तो आज खिचड़ी खाएंगे.
How interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Okay.
And they say कि you can't eat खिचड़ी on Sunday, so you have to finish it on Saturday.
Oh God.
ये थोड़ा कुछ होता है. I don't know the logic behind this, but ये है.
Okay, that's interesting.
You can ask anybody. That's true.
Okay, that's cool. I actually had no idea.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't eat khichdi on Sunday. They only eat curry on Thursdays. And
Is it religious or just like ऐसे ही
I don't
बना
know.
दिया?
कहते Thursday को कुछ yellow खाना चाहिए, yellow पहनना चाहिए, so they will eat curry.
Okay.
And
And
Saturday
this happens all year round.
Yeah,
Okay.
mostly. Like you'll just wake up and you'll think, oh, आज तो Thursday, आज तो कड़ी बनेगा.
Curry, okay.
Oh, आज तो Tuesday, आज तो ये बनना चाहिए. Oh, आज तो Saturday, आज तो खिचड़ी बनेगा. I think people have done this for their convenience.
Probably.
I don't know. कहते
That's
खिचड़ी
interesting.
if you eat खिचड़ी on Saturday आपका ग्रह कट जाता है.
Acha, so it's something to do with
something
okay.
to do with planets.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting. I'll read into this.
Superstition.
Superstition. I'll read into this.
Yeah.
Have there been any really funny stories from your time as a politician? Like the funniest incident where you were like, what is happening right now?
Funny तो बहुत कुछ होता था. मतलब I don't know.
One that's popping on top of your head.
So, it would just be like continuous interactions. And, so basically people would confuse me with Deshna, my sister.
Okay.
They think that we look very similar.
You do.
So during campaigns, so I remember we went to a village.
Yeah.
And gaadi ruk gayi. I got down from the car. So she was sitting, I was in the front, I was in the passenger seat, and she was sitting behind me. So I got down. Everybody welcomed me. वो माला पहनाते हैं, टीका करते हैं आपका. And then, they welcomed me. I went inside. I spoke to them also. I met everybody. Then I came back and I sat in the car. And there was a little girl. She looked at me. Then she looked at Deshna. Then she again looked at me. And then she again looked at Deshna. And she said, "Tu go Shambhavi hai." मतलब there are two Shambhavis. And she was in shock.
Yeah.
Like people would look at us and they would get confused. I've sometimes I used to like take a nap in the quick way. We used to wake up at 7 in the morning,
Of
campaign
course.
till 12, 1. So I
Yeah.
used to take a nap in the car. So जब हम nap लेते थे तो I used to put my sunglasses and I used to cover my face and I used to tell Deshu that cover up for me, and she would almost say hi to everybody. And then because कैसे गाड़ी पास कर रहा है एक जगह से दूसरे
Can't
जगह
tell.
हम लोग जा रहे हैं, बट उसके बीच में भी they will see कि एक दो बार ये when I was taking a nap, everybody अरे प्रत्याशी तो सो रही है, प्रत्याशी तो सो रही है. So I would tell Deshu कि अब तो cover up करो, तो Deshu would do hi to
Oh my
everybody.
God.
It was fun.
That's believable also. You guys look quite similar actually.
But I think,
But not twin level similar, but yeah.
but
quite.
when you're looking at somebody from
हाँ.
a moving car ना तो similar लगता है कि
Yeah.
अरे हाँ लगता है यही है.
Quite
So she would
similar.
always casually do जी namaste. Then I think we had a lot of fun during road shows. I had a lot of friends come for the campaign, and they would come and campaign for me, stay with me the whole day.
Yeah.
How they reacted to different things, to watch that was funny. How they would ask for people to work, because they're not local.
Of course.
They don't know Bihari,
हाँ.
but वो आते थे और फिर वो जिस तरह से interact, बहुत मजा आता था. मतलब it was a whole new experience.
That's really fun.
Language was also a barrier, so कभी कोई कुछ बोलता था वो इंसान कुछ और समझ जाता था, and then that person used to react. It has happened with my uncle also, कि उनसे कोई आके कुछ पूछा and he said something completely different, and we were all in the car, but obviously nobody reacted because
Obviously.
he didn't understand कि क्या
Yeah.
हुआ. But now that we look back at all of this, बहुत मजा आता है.
That's super funny.
Yes.
But that was the end of the segment. And
Okay.
before I bid you bye, I do want you to write down a catchphrase that resonates your journey. So could be anything, like could be your journey from the start, could be your political journey, anything. And I want you to sign it because we will have a digital installation soon.
Alright.
So just write it here and you can show it to the screen
Okay.
later.
Let me see. I'm writing something that is very simple but very significant. It's my motto. Dare to dream.
Oh, how sweet.
So I think every dream is important and no dream is small or insignificant, and you should not think that मेरा सपना छोटा है. Any dream, if it's your dream, it's important and you should have the courage to pursue it.
That's so sweet. That's actually so relevant also. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And before we part ways, I have a little token for you actually.
Oh wow, gifts.
Yeah.
I like.
a little gift.
Thank you.
Of course.
Am
You
I
can
supposed to open it?
whatever.
Okay.
Like
Let's
you can
see
open it,
what-
you can open it later, whatever.
Oh wow.
It's a little pen, like a crystal pen.
Guys, look. Thank you.
Of
It's
course.
very sweet. Thank you for having me, and thank you to the entire unit that has stayed through the conversation. And it was a very nice experience. There were questions that nobody has asked me before, and I was more than happy to talk about it, because we're used to giving political interviews where
Yeah.
we are usually surrounded by only political things, but this was different, and it was very nice to connect with young people, and I know what young people are thinking, and I hope that we continue to stay in touch,
Of course. we will.
continue to meet and continue to talk about different issues, and also that pet podcast is pending, so we'll do that
That's
also.
pending.
It's pending. We'll do that
Yeah,
also very
for
soon.
sure. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
So we're shooting this podcast today at Taj Mahal, New Delhi, and I would sincerely thank the entire team here at Taj Mahal for their hospitality.
Out with it. Ooh, out with it. By Kea.